Hi everyone, greetings for the day. I hope you all are safe and healthy. On behalf of CallHippo, it is my honor to welcome you all in today's webinar. My name is Sakshi and I manage the content marketing initiatives here at CallHippo. Today's webinar has been specially created to simplify the means of measuring and tracking the productivity of your agents by deploying CallHippo. As a business, the general perception of your brand that the potential audiences and clients derive depends significantly on your agents. Basically, your agents are the linking pin that bridge the gap between you and your brand. This, coupled with the time and monetary costs invested in agents, make it even more important to track and measure their productivity. Before moving further, I would like to introduce you all to our speaker for today's webinar, Mr. Avi Gupta, who is the product manager here at CallHippo. To all the people who are joining us today, please feel free to type in your queries in the Q&A section given right over here, and we will be happy to answer them towards the end of the webinar. I would also like to mention that we'd be sharing the recordings of the webinar later via email for your further perusal. Now, moving towards the agenda of today's webinar, we'd be discussing the business phone system in detail, along with the CRM integration, which would then be followed by understanding how the productivity of your agents can be measured. Now, we at CallHippo know that customer service is the backbone of every successful business. Therefore, we have built an assortment of wide ranging features that empower your agents in serving your customers in a much better fashion. Right from the initial setup to the efficient tracking on the later stages, CallHippo is a one stop destination for all of your telephony needs. Now, I would hand over the webinar to our speaker, Mr. Avi Gupta, who will walk you through the details of business phone system, CRM integration, and the means via which you can manage and track your agent's productivity. Over to you, Avi.
Thank you so much, Sakshi. Firstly, thank you guys for joining this webinar on a Saturday, and I hope everyone is safe and sound. I hope everybody can hear me clearly, right? Sakshi, am I audible?
Yes, Avi,
All
you're
right, all
audible.
right, all right. So, moving ahead with the webinar, firstly, I would be explaining you what the business phone system is, followed by integrations, and then majorly I will be talking to how you can track and measure the performance of your agents. Okay, so I will take an example of one of our attendees, who's Jose, as an example here, so that everybody who does not have an understanding of what a business phone system is will be able to also follow this. Okay, so Jose joined us the very first, like he was the first joining, so I'm just taking him as an example. So business phone system. Business phone system is a system which will manage all the incoming, outgoing, inbound, outbound calls which are made through your organization, right? Traditionally, the way this thing works is you need to buy all this expensive phones, physical phones, and also put in the cost for maintenance and repairs and everything. That will cost you a lot of money. We have created this business phone system on the cloud, which means that you can make calls to any part of the world by just logging into your web browser or downloading our web app or any of our desktop app for Windows and the Apple App Store. So that is how we are making this process very, very simpler for you guys. You do not need to invest in any of the fancy equipments, and you can just get started with $15 a month per user. So it's also very cost effective. So I'll just tell you some of the other benefits of a cloud telephony instead of a physical software. We have a 24/7 support, wherein if you have any problems or any concerns regarding any functionality, we will also be able to help you with that. Cost effective efficiency, I have already discussed this. We have a range of different features that will help you increase the productivity of your agents by a lot. I would be explaining this further in the webinar. You can also have conference calls. It's highly reliable. It's not that the connection is not good since you're making calls over the internet. The connection is very stable. We also have a patent pending technology as SDAP, which is making that possible. And also it improves your communication channel since everybody within the organization is within the loop. So here are some of the benefits of using a cloud telephony like CallHippo. Uh, so moving ahead, integrations. As I was taking the example of Jose, let's suppose Jose wants to open up a new call center which has a capacity of 50 agents. Traditionally, he will need to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on buying those expensive equipments. Now Jose will just come to CallHippo and he can purchase CallHippo and get started with the entire process in the matter of 3 to 5 minutes. He can get this call system up. He just needs to sign up, buy the numbers, and add the agents, and yeah, voila, he's now able to use it. So that's how Jose will do it. The second step in the process would be he would need to use some sort of a customer relationship management tool, also known as CRMs, wherein all the calls that he will be making to his customers, he need to have the details of them, right? Customer or prospect. Let's consider he's running and he's also selling a software, right? He's selling an online software SaaS product, so he will call up the clients, right, one by one. So what we will do is he will have all his data stored in a CRM, right? Basically, it's a directory of all your customer prospects and what are the communication that you have already made to them. So why that is useful is, let's suppose I am one of his employees, and let's suppose I am sick today. I did not come into work today, right? What will happen is, by using a CRM, Jose's team member will be able to see all the communication which I have done with any of the previous clients. So if any of the clients call on the number today, any of the other team member will be able to take that call and assist them because they already have all the data stored in the CRM. So that is what CRM is. It's a whole another industry, and you might have heard about HubSpot, Salesforce, Ammo CRM. So as I was explaining, there is a host of different CRM you might have already heard about: Salesforce, HubSpot, Ammo CRM, No CRM, Sugar CRM, and there are many bunch of them, right? So we have integrations with all the major CRM software. So I'll explain you now how integrating with our with CallHippo is beneficial for them, right? So Jose has purchased the CallHippo software. He also has a CRM in place where he will be making a lot of different calls. So now what will happen is, traditionally Jose will look at the number of a customer in the CRM, and he will dial that number directly onto the CallHippo platform, which he can open it into a web browser or the mobile app. He will manually dial the numbers, right? Now, with the integration, what will happen is both the system, the CRM and the CallHippo platform, will be able to communicate with each other. What that ideally mean is, the data between both the system would be synced up. Basically, all the data which is stored into the CRM will automatically be shown into the CallHippo platform. Let's suppose the CRM had 100 records or 1000 records of different user prospect, that will automatically show up into a CallHippo platform, wherein you no longer need to open your CRM to make calls. That is one way you can do it. Therefore, you are saving a lot of time, wherein the agents will no longer need to manually dial the phone numbers, right? They can just search for the number, and yes, they can search for the name and the number will appear there, and they can just make one click and the call will be connected. The other thing is, we also have custom reporting once you have an integration into place. And the other great feature that have is the click to call functionality. What this essentially mean is, let's suppose you have your CRM open, right? You are using HubSpot, for example. You see the name of the customer and the phone number of the customer, right? There would be an icon next to the phone number. When you click on that icon, the CallHippo icon, the call will automatically get connected. This also enables the user to no longer need to log into the CallHippo platform. he can still use the CRM and make calls using the CallHippo tool, right? The only thing that he need to do is he need to install the Chrome CallHippo plugin, which is there in the Play Store, which is there in the App Store of Google. That's the only thing that they would be needing to do. That will save up again a ton of time and effort of manual dialing. Okay, so let's consider Jose has done that as well. He has already bought CallHippo, added the agents. He has integrated. He has bought a CRM. He has integrated with multiple people. Sorry, he has integrated with CallHippo and the CRM. Now he's able to see all the details of what's happening between a caller and an agent, and also all the data would be synced up. Now, one of the major challenges that we are going to discuss today is about tracking the agents. I cannot emphasize on this more that how important it is to track your agents. Because if you have 100 employees or 50 agents for that matter, it's very difficult to identify which of your agents are performing to a level which you want them to, and which of the agents are not performing, right? This is one of the major challenges that CallHippo is trying to solve, and I'll explain you that in detail. And also, I would like to tell you that all the traditional methods or the systems that are there in the market, it is not solving the problem. That will help you make the calls, but that won't be able to let you track the activity, like what are they doing, how productive are those calls, should there be some improvement or not. The only way you can judge a productivity is the number of time they were logged in for, like from 9 a.m. to 5 a.m. or whatever. I think that is the main pain point that we are going to talk about. So I would be explaining these five features that we have in the CallHippo tool that will help you track and measure how your agents are performing, and how you can use this parameter to even further optimize the agents that you guys have. Okay, so the very first feature that we have is the best performer, right? Based on the predefined number of set, we have an algorithm which will tell you which is the best performing agent of yours, right? That is not only based on the number of calls, but also it takes into other parameters as well. So that's the very first feature. That's very helpful for you to understand who is the one people that the other agents should learn from, right? That's a very good thing that you can do. The second is the leaderboard. Leaderboard is like a list of all your agents with a ranking associated to them. You can see the top five performers, the last five performers, and so on and so forth. This list keep on refreshing after some time, and this leaderboard is updated every once in a while, so that whenever there is some sort of a fluctuation, you will able to understand, like, okay, this agent is not performing. He was performing last month, so there is something that needs to be fixed, and you guys might have a meeting with them. So that's the other thing. The third thing is the live status of agents. This is very interesting. Like, let's suppose Jose is the manager and he has just logged into the call ecosystem, and he wants to know, okay, out of my 50 agents, how many people or how many agents are actually logged into the call ecosystem. So we also have a place where you can see, like, how many of your agents are actually live. Live means are actually logged into the system, which means that they will be able to make calls or receive calls, right? That's the other thing. The fourth point is call report. This is strictly quantitative figure wherein we will tell you, like, all the 50 agents will be giving the following parameters, like how many calls they have made, how many calls were actually completed, how many calls they did not were not accepted or were cancelled, how many calls were less than 30 seconds, and how many calls were greater than 30 seconds. So this will give you an overview of how the agent is performing. It means that, let's suppose an agent is making 150 calls in a day. By all the parameters I mentioned, you will be able to understand the quality of how that agent is performing. Let's suppose he out of the 150 calls, 120 calls were picked up. That means it's a good enough number that the agent calls are getting picked up, and most of the calls were about 30 seconds long. That means that it was not, it was a good call, like the agent was able to communicate the ideas or the things that he needed to talk about. So this is something that we are providing. The other is the availability report. Availability report is simply like what is the shift hours versus the login hours. Let's suppose we have a system in place wherein you can define your login hours. Let's suppose I come in at a night shift wherein I log in from let's suppose 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning, right? What will happen is by enabling this, you will be able to track like how many people were actually log in their time, which their shift timing is, and if they have not logged in for that matter. This will give you a percentage of how for how long did they log in. But they log in for 60% of the time, or they log in for the 70% of the time. So again, this will give you a holistic understanding of how the agent is performing. So if we combine all this data, it will give you a very clear understanding of how all the agents in your system are performing, and are there any action that needs to be taken or for any of your agents, and should you put in some processes to make a non-productive agent productive, and also increasing your revenue. So that is what this is. Moving ahead, so I've already covered like what agents do, right? I've already talked about CRM and what business phone system is. I just wanted to highlight what are the other flagship features that we have in our tool. So here are the list of different features that we offer. So I'll just quickly explain three or four of them that will help you take away the important points of the CallHippo tool, right? Power dialer, the very first feature. It simply means that let's suppose you want to make 200 calls in a day. What you would do traditionally is you will dial those 200 numbers and one by one and make the calls. This feature will actually allow you to upload a Excel sheet into the system and make the system do all the calls. And only once the call is picked up, your agent will talk to them. This will eliminate all the other time where the customer is where the agent is busy dialing the numbers or redialing the numbers or whatever, right? The second thing is IVR. We have a interactive voice in place wherein you can also define like if you want to divert your incoming calls into various departments. So Jose, for this in this example, he might have four different departments, right? One is customer support, one is sales, one is marketing. So whenever an incoming call is received, we will play a certain tone which will tell them to choose certain option: one for sales, two for marketing, and three for customer support. And based on their input, we will be redirecting them to a particular department. So that is very cool. There is call recording, so obviously you can record all your calls. So in future, if you ever need to revisit those for any purpose, you can definitely check that out. Call barging. Let's suppose your agent is having a call with a customer, and you just want to hear what the agent and the customer is talking without them getting to know about it. This is the feature that you can use. This is just for quality control of how the agents are performing, right? Global connect. Global connect is one of the other feature. Let's suppose I'm making a call from India to US. So whenever I dial the number of a US country, that date and time will automatically be shown. So that will help the agent to understand which country I'm calling and is it the right time to call them, because the time difference between India is US is huge, right? So we might end up calling at the wrong time. So that is one other thing that can be done. Also, you can transfer your calls internally to different departments. You can also have call conference, as I mentioned earlier. You can have multiple people calling at the same time. We also have a patent pending technology SDAP that will ensure the best possible call quality in the market. And yeah, smart switch. This is one of the other feature wherein let's suppose for some reason you're not having a good quality of internet connection, you can just enable this switch and try to call again, and the quality of the call will go up significantly. So here are some of the other features. We also have a lot of other features in place. but I won't be able to cover everything in this webinar. So yeah, that's about it in this slide. Uh, so here is a special offer for everyone who has joined us in this webinar. Okay, you guys won't find this offer on our website or any other place, but all the people who will sign up with us in the next 48 hours will get 20% off on their annual packages. And there is a coupon code here, annual underscore 20% underscore forever. We will email this to you. Okay, and also you will get a 10% off on the monthly subscription of any of the packages, and we will also email the coupon code for this. Okay, yeah, this is a special offer only for the next 48 hours, and you can message us on our website. You can drop us an email on sales@callhippo.com, and we can take that conversation ahead with you guys. Okay, uh, for as a bonus, we are offering two more things. One is an ebook, which we will again be sending into the email, where you will be given a guide of how you can win sale conversations. This is a list which this is the ebook which has been created specifically by us on how you can win sales conversation. This is a very good book that you guys can give it to your sales rep to better close the deals. And the second thing is, let's suppose you're still not convinced whether you should go ahead and buy this CallHippo tool. We are providing a free demo and a free trial of 7 days, no strings attached. If you don't like our product, you don't need to buy it, or no amount would be deducted from our end. You guys can go and choose a different tool if you want to, but we would be having this functionality of giving you a trial for 7 days. So yeah, if you need to join this, you can let us know again. And now we will be answering any of the questions if you have any. Do you,
Hi, Avi. There are a few questions in the chat also. You may go through them and answer them accordingly.
just give me 1 second.
Sure.
There is only one question, right? By Jose.
That's in the Q&A section. So you may begin with the Q&A, and we have some more questions from Mr. Sachin in the chat.
All right, all right. So Jose, I joined at the beginning of this week, but I don't enjoy the discount. Uh, yeah, Jose, you are already a customer.
Yes, my friend, but I have another email account in with I registered. Sorry for my English. I speak Spanish.
No, no
Uh,
issue. Yeah.
I can send you the email that I used to register.
Uh, Jose, I'm not very sure whether we will be whether we would be able to provide you with that discount. But yeah, Sakshi, can you just note it down, and I'll reach out to you if we can do something. Jose. All right. Thank you, Jose. Okay, I'll just take up other questions. Okay, Sachin, can you unmute Sakshi? Can you unmute Sachin?
Sure, I just do that.
Sachin, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Uh,
go ahead. I can hear you very well now.
Yeah. Sachin, yes, so your question is, so calling functionality will happen from HubSpot itself? Yes, we have that functionality. You just need to install a Chrome extension. Okay. And once you have that extension in place, so all the contacts which you have in your HubSpot, okay, uh, uh, and besides the phone number, there will be a call hippo icon. Okay. Once you click on that icon, the call will automatically get connected.
So just I wanted to understand in HubSpot, there is already, when we are using a CRM for our own organization, so in the
Mhm.
HubSpot itself, we have one button which is call against each and every contact, correct? So will the
Okay.
same button get activated? Right now, when we click that, obviously it says there is no telephony provider. But once we integrate it with Call Hippo, will a new button will come, or the same button is
There
going to?
will be there will be a new button. It's a call hippo icon. You will be able to easily recognize it.
Okay, wonderful. So it means that all the calling will also start happening from HubSpot
That's
CRM
correct.
itself. We do not have to come back to Call Hippo logins and do the dialing. So only one system will be used after the
Yeah,
integration. Correct?
you can use it both the ways. You can also log in to the call hippo platform. But to answer your question, yes, you can directly make calls from the HubSpot platform itself.
Yeah,
and
because
all the calls will be redirected from the CallHippo platform only.
okay. And what about the, so once it gets integrated, all the call statistics will also start showing in HubSpot or for,
Yeah. So I will
uh,
explain that. I'll explain that. Let's suppose you bought CallHippo and you have 1,000 leads within your HubSpot account, right? So
absolutely.
let's suppose you make a call and the customer picked up. You had a conversation with him for about 5 minutes. Okay. So that entire detail will be recorded into your HubSpot as an activity. Okay. Within the
Okay.
same customer, an activity would be recorded. It will say the call has been made from this number to this number. The call lasted from call lasted for a minute and 30 seconds, and here is the call recording if you have call recording in place.
Okay. So the call recording will also be available in HubSpot itself, correct?
Yes, there will be a URL there. Once you click on it, you can view the recording, listen to the
Okay.
recording.
You can listen the recording.
Mm.
Perfect. And about the reporting and all that, that how many calls were made and how many calls went into busy tone, voicemail, and all these kind of statistics. If you would like to see, so will that be also available in HubSpot or
No,
we?
that won't be available in HubSpot. Then you need to log into the CallHippo platform.
Okay. In the CallHippo platform, these all things will be available. How many went into busy tone? How many went into voicemail?
Yes, you will be able to understand that, like how many calls that an agent made, how many were picked up, how many were not picked up. That kind of details will be there into the call report platform.
And okay, so that's fine. And supervisory dashboard is there in CallHippo.
That's there. That's there. There we have a mechanism of admin and sub-user concept.
Okay.
Okay, wherein you can assign what are the data that you need to show it to the sub-users. So
And
that's there.
why, despite it being a voice over internet, why telecom charges are also? I'm sorry, I'm very new to this calling infrastructure and all that, but we are exploring a few options here. So that's
Okay.
why just wanted to understand, despite it being a voice over internet, why telecom charges are being also applied here.
What telecom charges are you talking about?
Once we take the user login of $35 or whatever, $15 it is there, right?
Yeah.
After that, when once we start calling, there would be some telecom charges per minute, right?
Right, right. That's correct. So I'll explain again. So whatever you're buying a package, okay, so that will only give you access to the Call Hippo platform. And for all the calls that you have to make, you need to add credits. It's just like buying a new phone number. You need to recharge every time. But again, the main point is it's very cheap as compared to a traditional system. Meaning, for example, in $35, you won't be able to make calls. Like unlimited calls. That's not something that we provide, but definitely you will be able to make very cheap calls as compared to a traditional phone system.
Okay. And can the integration also happen for a specific set of agents over HubSpot?
No, no, and
So
that's
once the
something that we
integration
don't.
happens, then it is visible for everybody on HubSpot.
It's visible for every contact that you have. Yeah, that's correct.
No, for every user of HubSpot, because there are many users who are who probably are using HubSpot, but they will not be the agents.
Okay, so are you talking about that call hippo icon which I mentioned, where you will be
Yes,
able to
yes,
make calls?
yes,
No, no.
yes.
So what is you need to install that plugin.
Okay, okay,
Okay,
okay.
for you might have used Chrome browser, right? So there are different plugins that we always install,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Grammarly plugin or any other plugin for that matter. So unless and until you install that plugin, even if you have a CallHippo account, you won't be able to make calls to HubSpot.
Okay,
Is
so
that clear?
okay, so at every desktop, there has to be a this plugin installed, and once the plugin is installed, then only he will be able to, or the agent will be able to do any calling there.
That's
Correct.
correct. That's correct.
But the recording can be heard by anybody in HubSpot.
The recording can be heard. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Avi. Thanks for addressing all these questions. Wonderful. I have a demo planned also on Monday, so wonderful. I'll understand more on there. No problem. Thank you. Thank you for all these answers.
Okay. And the other question you had was best performance and leaderboard metrics is for what time period? You can change it. You can look at for today, yesterday, last week, and so on.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. Uh, does anybody have any other questions? You can post it into the Q&A or the chat section. I will be happy to answer all of them. Any other question, guys? All right. Okay. Then thank you everyone for joining this call today. I hope that you got some value out of this webinar. And definitely you can reach out to us directly on our website or support at callhippo.com if you're already a customer, or sales at callhippo.com for any of a new account, right? So definitely we will help you in all your requirements, and that's about it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Sorry.
All right, all right. Thank you, everyone.